Ladies and gentlemen, it is the biggest wrestling event in the world. It's the showcase of the immortals. It's WrestleMania. And after what we just witnessed just a few minutes ago, we're I don't even know how we're gonna get through this show tonight. Emotions cannot be any more higher than it is right now after what we just witnessed in our main event of WrestleMania tonight. Good evening. I am Michael Fletcher. Welcome to the recap of WrestleMania on YouTube.com. Dee Woodson, Michael Bullock, Anthony Floyd will be with us in just a moment. My God, what a night, guys. What an event. We're just going to dive right in. We're not going to waste any time. Um, Due to work commitments beyond my control, I will not be able to do a majority of these matches. We're going to go quick. We're going to try to go as fast as we can with the recap. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start it off. The first fight was a pre-show fight for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Adrian Neville versus Austin Aries. Adrian Neville wins the match. He defeats Austin Aries. He keeps the Cruiserweight Championship. And actually, Anthony Flair has now arrived. So, Anthony, we're just going to dive right in. Give me your thoughts about Aries versus Neville.
4 stars. Unbelievable match. I mean, I told you this was going to be the best cruiserweight match going into this, and I'm not at all surprised that it delivered. I mean, I'm still miffed that we didn't get this on the. I'm still miffed we didn't get this on the main card, but boy howdy, I mean, they delivered. What else is there to say? I mean, there was a small part of me that thought Neville would go over. But, what else is there to say except now I think this is the start of a feud here. And in 4 weeks, on MF's birthday, April 30th, we got a Raw pay-per-view called Payback at the Shark Tank in San Jose. Who knows? Maybe we could get a rematch here, or maybe even on 205 Live, make that show relevant. But for right now, what a way to start it off. I mean, when it comes to the pre-show fights, this was hands down the best one. Solid 4 stars. Awesome match. The movesets were amazing. I knew they'd deliver. Tope Suicidas, Red Arrows, Last Chanceries, 450s. Wow. Tone setter for WrestleMania. Well done, guys. Well done. Solid 4 stars. Michael Bullock, Phenom. I know you're probably still emotional after what we just witnessed, but let's get your thoughts on this cruiserweight match.
And I'll tell you this, guys, I'm probably still emotional. I mean, after what I just saw, and so I'm gonna try my best to go through with this, but it's gonna be tough after what I just witnessed, as we could say, the end of an era. So if I do sound emotional, I do apologize, but I'm gonna try my best to go through with this recap. So I do agree. 4 stars is my rating on this. This was definitely a great tone setter for WrestleMania. I mean, imagine how good it would have been this match was on the main card, but hell, I mean, it was still a good match, even though it was on the kickoff. So 4 stars is my rating. Dee Woods, well, obviously, we're just going to move on because Dee Woodson wants nothing to do with it. So I say we just move on, Fletch.
All right, and then we had was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. When it was all said and done, a shocker. Mojo Rawley of SmackDown Live wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. He now joins the likes of Antonio Cesaro, The Big Show, and Baron Corbin as winners of this Battle Royale. The last man he defeated was Jinder Mahal to win it. Your thoughts of Mojo Rawley winning the Battle Royale?
This was certainly the biggest win of his career, to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and got a little help from the Gronk himself, Rob Gronkowski, after Jinder Mahal basically threw some soda at him. So nice win for him. So if I had to give it a rating, it's usually tough for me to rate battle royals. So I'm gonna give it about maybe. I'm gonna give it 2 stars at best. I mean, that's the best I could give it. So I don't know how you guys feel about it. So Dee Woodson, give us your thoughts on it.
Well, I did miss the beginning of the match due to being out with my girls, but the end of it, I did get to see Mojo win and everything. So I'm not going to rate it only because I came in the middle of it. So Florio, I'm going to pass it to you.
What'd you rate it, Bullock? You said about 1.5 to 2?
2. Well, like I said, I mean, it's usually tough for me to rate battle royals.
Yeah. I could probably give this about 2 to 2.25 for me. I mean, solid battle royal. I'll say it like this: when it comes to the Andre Battle Royal, the first 2 Andre Battle Royals were really good. The ones that Cesaro and the Big Show won, those were really good. I can't really say the same for the last 2. I mean, yes, we had some surprise winners, and I'm all about surprises, unpredictability. And trust me, there will be some unpredictability a little bit later on. I mean, what else is there? Let me just say it like this. For anybody who may not know, Rob Gronkowski, we all know what he is with the New England Patriots. And WWE, they're going to get a lot of love from the sports networks, obviously ESPN and the NFL Network. But Mojo winning won't really excite the masses. But getting Gronk in the ring at WrestleMania, that's a very big deal. That's a WrestleMania moment right there. And we're not going to run down we apologize for not running down all the eliminations, but it was strictly chaos. And as far as that cruiserweight match goes, one hell of an opening match. The 450 last chancery. Like the decision that they went with Neville. He's been phenomenal as the heel champion, and I'd like to see Aries eventually win the title after a long chase. And I'm hoping he's okay after that German suplex spot. Seemed fine and simply sold the bad eye afterward. One ugly bump. And it's so cool to see Aries go from working the local indies to his first WrestleMania bout. Support indie wrestling. You never know when you're going to see a guy who will go from your local indie armory to WrestleMania. So that's just another extra thought I had. And a good showing from Killian Dane from NXT Sanity, and of course Tian Bing, the Chinese standout. And very surprised outcome. We all thought Braun Strowman was going to win it, but hey, Mojo Rawley, score 1 for SmackDown Live, MF. I know that's going to put a smile on your face, being the SmackDown guy that you are. So, damn, I hate that SmackDown goes over on Raw, but it is what it is. So, congrats to Mojo Rawley. Get hyped, stay hyped. Let's get hyped. Let's get hyped and stay hyped for the remainder of this show. On that, let's go back over to you.
All right, and the next fight that we had here on the WrestleMania pre-show, this was the 3rd of the pre-show fight. Unfortunately, the pendulum swung on the SmackDown side. We knew it was going to happen, but man, did they cost us a big one, man. For the Intercontinental Championship, Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin get slashed from the main card, thrown into the pre-show, the winner of the bout, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Dean in the jeans. Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, wins it, defeating the Lone Wolf. Dee Woodson, give us just quick thoughts of this match.
I'll give it 2.5 stars. I thought it was a solid matchup, but I'm not going to say too much more because I'm exhausted. So, Florio, what's yours?
We all are exhausted, Dee Woodson. After all, we just sat through damn near 7.25 hours of this. Good grief.
Yeah, but I have to get up at 5:30, so.
Yeah, I got work in the morning myself, and so does Bullock. I don't know about MF, but anyways.
Now I gotta get my taxes done tomorrow, so I'm leaving the house early myself.
Good grief. All right, so we'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. But nonetheless, I think Didi overscored it a little bit. I can only give this about 1.5 to 2 myself. Fairly flat match. The live crowd didn't seem to really connect with the match, and the wrestlers didn't really give them much to get excited about. I was looking forward to this match, and I found it underwhelming. And the match being on the pre-show, well, I can't say it really was a surprise after all. Another match did have to be sacrificed because of the fact that they put the SmackDown Women's title match back on the main card. Originally, the SmackDown Women's title match was supposed to be on the pre-show, but it got put back on the main card thanks mainly to those of us in the IWC. But at the same time, they played to a full stadium. The match aired on the USA Network, so they can't be too disappointed that it wasn't on the main card. Going into the match, I mean, we all thought Corbin was going to win, but another surprise. Dean Ambrose goes over. I felt there was a chance Ambrose could win, only to have maybe Corbin get a rematch on SmackDown and actually win it there. And we'll see come Tuesday night if that should happen. But 1.5 to 2, very flat match. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this now pre-show Intercontinental title match down on the main card?
Well, you knew another match was going to get added to the pre-show since they moved the SmackDown Women's title to the main card. So, yeah, I'll agree. 1.5 to 2 stars is my rating. So there's really nothing more to say. So now let's get to the main card of this WrestleMania 33.
Yes, indeed. And the first fight of WrestleMania, AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. The winner of the bout was AJ Styles. Anthony Florio, it goes back to you, my friend. What did you think of the opening bout of WrestleMania?
I could go as far as to call this the fight of the night. This was absolutely phenomenal. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was an amazing opening match. This ranks up there as one of the greatest opening matches in WrestleMania history. This ranks right up. This is now my top 3. My top 3 that includes Bret and Owen from WrestleMania 10 and Daniel Bryan and Triple H from 30. This ranks up there. MF, I know you had to work tonight. I'm pretty sure you didn't see this fight yet, but you got to go out of your way to see this fight, man. This was amazing. Or in AJ's words, phenomenal. Very entertaining match if you can buy Shane as a wrestler. I'm sure it was stomach-turning for some, but the live crowd clearly enjoyed it, as did I. Shane's MMA holds on high-level opponents do make me roll my eyes, but this clearly worked for the live crowd and got the show off to a very good start. Well done. 20 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh, yeah. So, no doubt about it. I can make an argument this was the fight of the night, but I gotta look over more of these. So, to me, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. Well done, AJ Styles. Well done, Shane McMahon. That's how you start a WrestleMania. So, Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
What did you rate this, Florio?
I gave it between 4.25 to 4.5 stars, but if you think I'm rating it too high, I don't care. It was awesome.
No, I thought it was really good myself. I'm going to give it the same thing, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Certainly, I could say this was the fight of the night. I mean, both men I thought did really good in this match. I mean, the action was solid and spectacular. So, no, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. 4.25, 4.5 stars. Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
Well, I'll say it was a very good match, yeah, but I'm not going as high as you guys. I'm going 4 stars because I actually did think there was one a little bit better than this one. So that's about all I'm going to say about it.
All right, and the next thing we had was for the United States Heavyweight Championship, Kevin Owens versus the champion Chris Jericho, the winner of the bout, and the new United States Heavyweight Champion, KO Kevin Owens. It's KO Mania. He wins the title. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
What did you say was the next match?
Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho.
It was good for what it was. I mean, I can only give it about 2 to 2.5 as my thoughts on it. So the crowd, I mean, I thought to me was not really into it. But despite that, I mean, I thought the action was good for what it was. So 2 to 2.5 stars. Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
I'll agree with the rating, but on a personal note, We found out earlier this evening that Chris Jericho actually blocked my husband on Twitter, so not too sure why. We're thinking it was having something to do with the first name Kevin. So I don't know, but I'll agree with the rating on it. It was an okay match, but it is what it is. So over to you, Florio.
3.5 stars is my rating for this match. Of course, this was not a big surprise. We all knew Owens was going to win this. A good back and forth match. I like the way they both used the walls of Jericho. The live crowd was engaged and vocal. Owens going over, like I said, not a big surprise, if only because Jericho was expected to take some time off for his upcoming Fozzy shows. But Jericho's entrance, man, what else is there to say? A light up scarf, a giant list of Jericho. Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, we knew these two would give us.
I drank it in, man.
Oh yeah, we drunk it in, man. No doubt about it. I mean, wow. Let me see. Very good match overall. Both guys working hard and playing off of the feud and the fact that they knew each other well. Not nearly as hate-filled as I would have hoped, but it was, which I think would have really added to the bout. But Owens being a devious SOB and going to his murder death kill to pick up the win was a great finish. So another very good match here. 3.5 stars. I can't complain. So, with that being said, MF, let's move on to our next bout.
All right, and it's the Fatal 4-Way elimination for the Raw Women's Championship. The champion Bayley versus Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Sasha Banks. The order of the elimination: Nia Jax gets eliminated first, Sasha Banks got eliminated second. That left Bayley and Charlotte the winner of the bout, and still the Raw Women's Champion Bayley, she wins the title. This goes to Dee Dee Woodson. So Dee Dee, the voice of the women's division, what did you think of the Raw Women's title fight?
Hey, I think that they finally solidified Bayley's title win by having her have a clean win, no help in the win, and that she finally proved that, yes, she is that damn good that she could beat Charlotte without any assistance from Sasha at all. I like how the three of them did team up at the beginning to pick on Nia Jax. That was the only way that anybody besides Nia was going to win it, is to have the three of them take her out early in the match. So I thought that was really good. So I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars. And, I don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. Me personally, I think it was a really good women's match for what it was worth. So over to you, Florio.
I'm not the kind of guy that likes to say I told you so, but I told you so. And that's not the first time I'm going to be saying that tonight. So, yep, I believe I had this one, gentleman and lady. I said Bayley was going to win this thing, and boy, howdy, she did it, man. I mean, I believe Bullock and Dee Dee had Nia Jax, MF had Sasha Banks, but I had Bayley winning it, and I'm not at all surprised that she delivered here. 3 stars. I agree with Dee Dee's rating, but I am going to have some constructive criticism here. It's a shame that the buckle never got fully pulled off and exposed, because 2 of the pins came directly off of exposed buckle spots, quote unquote, and commentary largely had to play like it was exposed. Really good for the first 2/3, but the final 2 eliminations came out poorly due to the buckle issue. Someone really has to get in the ref's ear and have him instruct somebody to remove that so that the planned spots can actually work. They worked really hard. The wrestling was on point. I loved the other 3 girls. I loved seeing Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley ganging up on Nia. And overall, they delivered a good match. Bayley got her moment, and the only real surprise to me is that they didn't really tease the Sasha Banks heel turn harder. I honestly think that it would have been better as a single fall match due to the buckle snafu and time being a bit too short for a 4-person elimination match. Good job with the time given, but the lack of time, disappointing for a 4-way elimination match. But it was still a solid effort, though, mainly for the first few minutes. So, solid 3 stars. I agree 100% with Dee Dee's rating. So, Michael Bullock, how'd that Nia Jax pick work out for you?
Not too good, shall I say. And what did you give? What did you give the rating again?
3 stars, just like Dee Dee did.
Yeah, three. Yeah, I'm gonna make it unanimous and say 3 stars as well. So, yeah, I mean, I got this one wrong, and but hey, I mean, this at least solidifies Bailey. I mean, at least defend her title cleanly. So there's really nothing. Hey, you guys pretty much Fletch.
All right. The next thing we had was well, it was supposed to be a triple threat ladder match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It was Anderson and Luke Gallows. It was Cesaro and Sheamus, and it was Enzo Amore and May Cass, the Wrestling Forum's favorite tag team. But wait, the New Day came out and said that there was going to be a fourth tag team, and it was going to be a fatal four-way elimination. Well, a fatal four-way ladder match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Who was it going to be? Surprise, surprise, surprise. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys has debuted back in WWE, and they are on Monday Night Raw. Holy crap, are you kidding me? And then the winners of the bout and the new WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, D.D. Woodson's favorite tag team, Matt and Jeff. They have climbed the ladder of success, and they are your new tag team champions. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Oh my goodness. What a moment to have the Hardy Boys back in WWE and to have them win the Raw Tag Team Championships. I mean, the crowd, really, Hardys came out, and I even had my cousin Tori Dakota. So she's a big Jeff Hardy fan, and when she heard the music, she just lost her freaking mind. So yeah, great. I mean, a great. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, great work by both by everyone. But yeah, even though our favorite tag team didn't win, but hey, at least we got a good moment with the Hardy Boys winning the Raw Tag Team title. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars, just because the crowd was basically into it, especially with the Hardys coming out. So yeah, so there's really nothing. The Hardy Boys coming back.
For me, this was my fight of the night, so I'm giving it a solid 4 stars. My house, we all marked out when Matt and Jeff came out, and who can say that, Matt didn't give that final deletion there at the end when he was up there celebrating their miraculous win over, all these guys. Biggest surprise of the night, and for me, I have to say that was probably the best birthday present I could get, was to see the boys back in WWE. So awesome match here. So Florio, it's yours.
I'm right there with you, D.D. Woodson. Solid 4 stars. This is another one of my fights of the night for sure. This is how you do a WrestleMania moment. You deliver something that fans want and don't shove it down our throats. The action was great. We got big spots. The pacing was good. And the finish was absolutely the right call to pay off the big surprise. And in my immortal words, delightful, extraordinaire, exquisite, yes. As an entire package, fun action, hard work, the big surprise and moment, easily my favorite moment on the show. The Hardys will add a ton of fresh matches to the WWE roster and come out of this weekend as huge winners on several levels. And I am glad they got the moment after all of the work they did to reinvent themselves. And Matt responded to the delete chants and helped lead them afterwards. So perhaps the broken universe is not dead after all. Either way, a really cool moment. Hardcore fans knew there was a chance the Hardys would be there tonight or at Raw or SmackDown Live. but it didn't make it any less fun. The match itself was carried by the return of the Hardys. It was nothing compared to what the Hardys and the Bucks of Youth did the night before at the ROH Super Card of Honor event. Go out of your way to check out the replay on Fight TV because it was something else. That was a 5-star classic. Easily the best match of WrestleMania weekend, hands down. And before we move on to MF, with the Hardys winning, I have to do it. I've got to do it. We have it there. Green beans for everyone. Yes. Green beans for everyone. Yes.
And for all those, and for all those other tag teams in Monday Night Raw, they just fade away and classify themselves as obsolete.
Obsolete. Yes. And why do we not have green beans? They are a delicacy.
Delete.
Green beans. Post haste. Yes.
Hey,
Let's move on, brother MF.
This is one time I'm glad I think we all were wrong on this tag team match because none of us expected the Hardys to actually show up tonight.
Yeah, and actually, this was one that none of us saw coming. There were rumors about maybe the Hardys coming back, but we're like, nah, they'll probably come back like post WrestleMania. Everything else, oh no. Apparently, we knew the Hardys were in Florida. We knew they were in the area because they had the fight the night before in Lakeland. And next thing we know, they made their way to Orlando, and now they're the Raw Tag Team Champions. You want to talk about a shot in the arm in the division? Holy cow. And history was made. There's nothing we can say. A WrestleMania moment. History was indeed made. We have new Raw Tag Team Champions. It's the Hardys. And what on earth is going to happen tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw from the Amway Arena in Orlando? Well, we're just going to have to find out. And as always, we will cover that on Anthony's channel, The Tone 25, when Ridiculously Raw hits the air immediately after Raw tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to WrestleMania and back to a very interesting matchup. It was the mixed tag team fight. It was The Miz and Maryse versus John Cena and Nikki Bella. You know, we were wondering, was Miz and Maryse going to win this match, or was Cena and Nikki going to get the job done? The winners of the bout was John Cena and Nikki Bella. They did indeed win it, but after the match, one of the most talked about moments around the water cooler is going down tonight, and that is John Cena. We kind of expected it, but when Cena delivered it, it was a beautiful speech. There's nothing more to say about it. He talked to Nikki, talking about the surgery, and said that, one day, I want you to ask a question, and you said, I'll answer it honestly. He's like, one day I'm gonna marry you. She said yes, and he was like, when the time is right, the time will be right for me. Well, April 2nd, 2017, the time was right for Cena. He gets down on bended knee. He proposes to Nikki, and he actually used her real name. So anybody who thought this was all scripted, WWE stuff, the whole 9 yards, screw you. He actually went by her actual real life name. So this is a legit wedding. This is true, real life, total Bellas, total divas. They went from John Cena and Nikki Bella, the wrestlers, to John Cena and I think Christina Nicole Scorsese, and he proposed to the woman of his dreams. Congratulations to an engaged couple. We knew this was going to happen, but it's happening for real now. the man who said that they were never going to get married or never have kids, well, Cena just broke one of those walls down. He's getting married. Um, it actually goes to Dee Woodson. So Dee, give me your thoughts about the mixed tag fight and the expected moment, the extracurricular.
Her first name's actually Stephanie. Stephanie Nicole Garcia Kalal.
Yep.
Whatever, I can't. But yeah, we all had Cena and Nikki winning this, and I was not surprised that it happened just as I said. Maurice did not do diddly squat in the ring. It was mainly down to Miz and John until the end right there when you had the double FU and the double, you can't see me thing going there, and with the 5 knuckle shuffle. I mean, it was an okay match, though. I mean, I'm only going to give it a 2, but because to me it was more of what happened after the match than what happened in the match. I mean, the guys were the only ones who really did anything. The girls didn't get to do very much at all, because of Maurice, and I figured that would be that way because, like I said, she hasn't done anything in the ring all the way up to this point other than help Miz cheat to win. So that's about all I'm going to have to say about it. So Florio, it's yours.
I again agree with you on the rating. Dee Woodson, solid 2 stars for me as well. Perfectly solid match with Miz getting a lot in before losing and setting up the post-match moment. It was what it needed to be. And as far as the proposal goes, you knew it was going to happen. And the only question was just how awkward Cena would be, given how awkward he was with her on Total Bellas. Well, he nailed it. It was a nice speech. I just hope he didn't whisper, this is just for TV into her ear during their private embrace. But in all seriousness, it was a nice moment. The live crowd consisted of men booing and some very high-pitched screaming. And like I said, the match, it was fun and okay for what it was, thanks to the live crowd and the way the Miz played to them. But one of the two most obvious things, 3 most obvious things, them winning the match, 1, 2, the proposal, and one other match that had an obvious outcome coming up later on. So yeah, solid 2 stars. And from all of us here at the Wrestling Forum, congratulations indeed to John Cena and to Nikki Bella. Happy marriage, and I hope they do it at a live. I want to see them do it on a grand stage. I really want to see that happen. But I'm sure it'll probably be a private thing like it always is. But if I had it my way, I would love to have it on a grand stage pay-per-view, just like Macho Man and Liz did. But I don't think they're going to go that way. So that's all I can say. Solid 2 stars for the match, but the moment. But I do have one small criticism about the moment. The moment was great. I'm happy about the moment, but where was the pyro? I would have had pyro going off all around that citrus bowl, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Right, Bullock?
Me three.
See? Just saying.
I think they really gaffed on that one.
Yeah.
Dipsy botcheroo, baby.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it was a dipsy-doo botcheroo.
Well, think about this. They spend $5 million on that WrestleMania stage, and there was a lot of pyro. If you saw the video when they were doing the helicopter loop, and there was that a huge barge with a junk load of pyrotechnics. So I mean, they could definitely could have expended a little bit on pyro if they wanted to.
I would have done it. As soon as he said yes, and as soon as they embraced and sealed it with a smooch, bam, pyro all around the bowl. Done. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2 stars on the match. I mean, I thought it was good for what it was, and yeah, I mean, it was a moment that I think we all will never forget to see. On Cena for and said yes. And yeah, all of us here at the Wrestling Forum, we want to congratulate the two of them, and we certainly wish them the best of luck as they will soon be getting married. Well, who knows? Maybe they could do it maybe at a live pay-per-view, and if not next year's WrestleMania, if they're going to do it this year, there's another big pay-per-view coming up in the summer, and that's SummerSlam. Remember, they did it at SummerSlam with the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. Why not do it at SummerSlam? Just a thought. So
Yeah.
So 2 stars is my rating. And the moment was just awesome. So there's really nothing more to say. So Fletch, I say we just move on.
I don't know. I kind of have a feeling like if they're gonna do the wedding, I'm thinking they'll probably do it on like Total Bellas or Total Divas, because a lot of the times in the past, a lot of the weddings have been aired on that show. I mean, when Eva Marie got married, that was on Total Divas. When Naomi got married, that was on Total Divas. Even Rusev and Lana's wedding was on Total Divas. They had the cameras there. And even Daniel Bryan, when he got married to Brie Bella, that was on Total Divas. So, I mean, something tells me that, yes, we're going to get a wedding and it's going to be public, but I don't think I would think that if it's John Cena and Nikki, for something tells me that they're gonna want cameras there, but I don't think it's gonna be on a WWE platform. I think it'll be the Total Divas or Total Bellas. I think they'll do the wedding there. Let the fans see it, but they keep the stuff out, because I know a lot of the fans. If you heard, a lot of the guys were saying no, 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 but all the ladies, they were heartwarmed over that moment. I mean, it was fun.
I just want to make one other quick comment. How great was it to see Jerry Lawler on live commentary? That was a nice.
It was awesome, amazing.
I liked it too. I mean, especially when him and JBL went back and forth during the match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because JBL was more on the Miz and Maurice's side.
Yeah, and Lawler with his Lawler jokes and the Lawler jokes and the zingers. Love it.
Yeah, and I even made a joke when I was watching the pay-per-view with my uncle. I said, "Oh, is there some lips some lips on the Miz's ass? Because it seems like JBL must be kissing it a lot."
Very true. Very true. All right. Now let's get back into another fight here at WrestleMania. Oh man, non-sanctioned Seth freaking Rollins, the Kingslayer, went up against the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, the Game, Triple H, with his wife Stephanie McMahon in the corner. The winner of the bout is the architect of the Shield, Seth freaking Rollins. He was indeed the Kingslayer tonight at WrestleMania. I believe this goes to, let's see.
I think it's Anthony who leads off on it.
Florio. Yes, yeah. Anthony Florio. So Florio, it's yours.
This is the match that I had the most vested interest in going into WrestleMania, because, non-sanctioned match gave me the memories of Triple H and Shawn at SummerSlam in 2002. That match was better. This one was still good for what it was. It felt longer than it needed to be, especially given that the crowd seemed fatigued. Is it a coincidence that the two matches that are top 20 minutes thus far both involve members of the McMahon family, Shane O'Mac, Triple H? Anyway, it was still well done. The slow start felt similar to the NXT main event last night. The closing minutes of the NXT match were a little better, but this was well done too. And the crowd popped big for the table spot that Stephanie went through the table. Whoa. I'm very surprised we didn't see Samoa Joe and or Finn Balor, especially since we didn't see Joe in the U.S. title match with Owens and Jericho. And especially since Balor's been working the Raw live events with Triple H lately. So I'm just saying. But yeah, him. It was he had been working 6-man tag team matches. Finn Balor, I believe it was Finn Balor, Chris Jericho, and I want to say Seth Rollins or Sami Zayn going up against Triple H, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe. We didn't see Balor, we didn't see Joe, but I'm thinking tomorrow night on Raw, we're going to see something with that. 25 and a half minutes. I'm not going to say it was a 5-star classic because there was some slowness in there, but once the action got going, then it got up there. This, to me, another 4 to 4.25 star match. This was a really well done match. Yeah, the crowd was tired. It was a little tired at some points, but once we got to the hot part, that's when it got going. So very good non-sanctioned match. But the one with Triple H and Shawn at SummerSlam was eons better. So 4.25 stars. If I ranked it too high, well, shame on me. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this non-sanctioned match? The King Slayer slayed the King.
I'm going to go just a little bit lower, and I'm going to say 3.5 to 4 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, it was definitely a good match for what it was, and yeah, I mean, I do agree. Of course, the one between Shawn Michaels and Triple H from SummerSlam 2002 was that. Really, nothing more from. I'm just gonna move on to D.D. Woodson.
I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars. It was a good match. Despite the knee injury, Rollins still pulled it off because we knew he wasn't anywhere near 100%. So just move on.
All right, guys. And the next fight we had was for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton goes one-on-one with the reigning champion, Bray Wyatt, the winner of the bout, and the new WWE Champion, Randy Orton. He has broken the Royal Rumble jinx for the first time since WrestleMania 29. The winner of the Royal Rumble has indeed successfully captured the title. It goes to Michael Bullock. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say? I mean, Randy Orton is now a 13-time champion, and he broke the drought. I mean, match. I mean, the crowd. I mean, I thought they were pretty much dead during the match. I mean, it seems like they really weren't into it. So yeah, so I've got nothing more to say on it, but just congratulations to Randy Orton. So D.D. Woodson, I give it to you.
What was your rating?
2 stars.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. 2 stars. It was fair match. But yeah, the crowd really wasn't. They were more into the openings than they really were the match itself. So, not much more I'm going to say on it. So, Florio, it's yours.
2 stars, but it was right out of a horror movie. I mean, did you see those weird effects on the ring with all those creepy, crawly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me want to lose my lunch.
Welcome to the world of Bray Wyatt.
The mind games began.
I got to be honest here. I hear you guys gave it 2 stars, and I can certainly understand that. But yeah, no, I don't think it was a 2-star bout in my opinion. I got to call it one of the worst fights of the night, if not the worst fight of the night. I could go as far as to say it was an embarrassing match due to the special effects. I've heard of overbooked, but an overproduced wrestling match? And now we're left with another Randy Orton title reign, which tend to get old in a hurry. No offense to that, but now I have to go a little bit. When in the bluest of blue hells is Bray Wyatt ever going to get a WrestleMania moment? First they feed him to Cena, then they feed him to Taker, and now they feed him and have him drop the belt to Orton. I seriously doubt Bray Wyatt will ever get a WrestleMania. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was torn going into this match. I wanted to see Bray Wyatt win so we could get a WrestleMania moment. That the other time, I wanted to see Orton win just for MF, because we all know how big of an Orton mark MF is. MF, I know you're probably celebrating right now, and rightfully so. I know you're probably celebrating more than the Rumble win. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Orton does as champion. Who knows? Maybe we could get a big payoff out of this. Maybe we could get a rematch or something. It'll probably be on SmackDown Live, because the next SmackDown pay-per-view, I believe, is not until, I think it's May 21st, I want to say, when they present Backlash. Yeah. So, which will be in Chicago, by the way, IWC capital of the world, but which ought to be a hell of fun. But yeah, this match was not good. I think 2 stars is generous. I'm sorry. This was an absolute dud for me. I did not like this match whatsoever. The overbooked effects was one of the reasons why. So, and now you got Orton running around with the belt again. And like I said, the story here was that Orton survived and overcame Bray's mind games. Unfortunately, that story sucked. They spanned finishes, no substance to the work. And like I said, in an embarrassing match at all. So Orton gets the belt. MF, I'm happy for you because you're an Orton fan. And I'm happy for all the Orton fans out there. But like I said, when in the bluest of blue hells is Bray Wyatt ever going to get a WrestleMania? I got an answer. Ain't never going to happen. Bray Wyatt's big break is never going to come. And I'm glad I'm finding this out now before I'm 46. Let's move on.
All right. That was pretty lengthy and a pretty hard-hitting rebut, but we'll wait and see what happens. All right, guys, next up we had was for the Universal Championship. This was the fight I was dreading. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the title. The winner of the bout and new Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. We knew this was going to happen. Didi Woodson, give me your thoughts.
I wasn't real impressed with the bout. Yeah, it went longer than most of the rest of them. I mean, it wasn't an 80-second finish or anything like that, but I wasn't real impressed, and I'm certainly not real super happy with the fact that Lesnar has the belt again. But it is what it is. This is another one I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give it a 2 straight out. Well, I'm not going to say too much more on it. So, Florio, it's yours.
The other predictable outcome of WrestleMania. They did a nice job. You knew this wasn't going to be a 20-minute classic, but the match was actually suspenseful while it lasted. Goldberg has the out that he knocked himself loopy when he was leapfrogged by Lesnar and then ran himself into the corner, if they want to play it that way. It will be interesting to see if Goldberg announces his retirement tomorrow or if he intends to do more with the WWE. He made it seem like he is open to doing more with WWE when he was interviewed this week, but Jeff Hardy also said he and Matt were staying in Ring of Honor throughout the summer. And what happened tonight? Wink, wink. Exactly what it should have been and needed to be. Quick, explosive sprint, and entertaining, while also playing off Goldberg's previous domination and Brock getting his revenge. The show needed this shot in the arm. It felt different, and believe it or not, it was actually fun. I know this rating is going to be no, don't get me wrong. This was not a 5-star classic by any means. Not by any means. But I'm going to go as far as to say this was my sleeper fight of the night. Sleeper fight of the night. 3.5 stars because of the effort. Well done. And this was far and away the best Goldberg-Lesnar match I've seen out of the whole series. Hopefully this is the end of it. I know everybody's going to say, oh, now what's going to happen now that Lesnar's got the belt? I'm hearing that a certain big dog could be Brock's first program. Wink, wink. Bullock, it's yours.
I'll give it 3 stars. I mean, this was better than what I thought. I mean, Yeah, it definitely made it a little bit more suspenseful. So there's really nothing more to say. So 3 to 3.5 stars. So let's just move on. Fletch, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
We
Okay.
can now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. All right, so it was Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Natalia versus Carmella with James Ellsworth with versus Mickey James versus Naomi. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and new SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi. She's done it. She's regained the title in her hometown. I think we called it, guys. We called this. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
2.5 stars is my rating for this. No surprises as some thought, we thought maybe they were going to add some last second surprises, because we talked about possibly some more women being added, but no surprises as some thought, and they were clearly rushed, but they worked really hard. The timing was good, and it was all action. They did what they could with the short time given, and it felt like an old school women's buffer match. It was a little bit more than that, but not much. Naomi going over in her hometown was no big surprise, and I'm glad she got her WrestleMania moment. It's a shame that they had to do the injury angle, but it is what it is. So, but it worked out because she won the title in her hometown, so it went over great. And good call for putting it on the main card because we got it at night. We got the epic Naomi entrance. Naomi was clearly the star of the match, and now she has her title back. And hopefully, she stays number one. She stays healthy, and number two, SmackDown Live. All you folks over there, let her. Now that you've given her the keys to the women's division kingdom, you've given her the ball. Let her run with it, please, please. I don't ask for much. That's all I'm saying. 2.5 stars for the effort, Bullock. Our girl did it, man. She did it. Feel the glow, baby. Won an entrance and won a night for the hometown girl.
Yes, I'm very happy for her, and she has her moment. She got the belt back, and I really love that entrance. So, what was your rating, Florio?
I gave it 2.5 stars. And one more quick thought: I am so ecstatic that the most athletically gifted diva on the women's division has her title. About damn time. Now go ahead, Bullock.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. I mean, now I hope if they can give her a nice long run with the SmackDown Women's Championship now. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So, Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. 2.5 stars. Very good match by the ladies for what it was worth with the time restraints and everything, seeing as they were leading up to what is now our main event. So let's move on to that.
Oh boy. This is going to get emotional. I can already feel it. The main event of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker in a no holds barred match. That stipulation got added earlier tonight. The winner of the bout is Roman Reigns. But wait, before everybody starts with the pitchforks and the flames and the whole 9 yards, there's more. After the match was over, Reigns left the ring. He does a signature pose. Pyro goes off. Fireworks everywhere in the arena, in the stadium. But there was one lasting image. The Undertaker, at that point, sits up. They go through a replay of all the action that went down. And then The Undertaker was in full garb. The hat, the jacket, everything. And in one found moment, he started removing articles. He removed the gloves, placed them in the ring. He took the jacket, placed that on top of the gloves. He takes off his hat, puts it right on top of everything. Lights out in the arena, in the stadium. One lone spotlight shining in the center of the ring where all that Undertaker left. Taker leaves the ring, goes halfway up the ramp, turns to the crowd, gives that signature fist in the air, and slowly gets descending to the ground. The lasting image of WrestleMania was the gong going off and the entire Citrus Bowl Camping World Stadium goes pitch black. With everything included, and by the grace of God, the phenom of our group, the biggest Undertaker fan of all time, Michael James Bullock, you have the honor of recapping and talking about this main event. And I know we're restricted for time because we all have things that we need to do, but please give me your thoughts about the life and the career of the Undertaker. And it's fitting it's you. It has to be you for this moment. Bullock, take as much time as you need. It's all yours, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, this is going to be tough for me to try to talk about this because, well, first off, the match, I'm gonna give it about 2 stars. I mean, the match was good for what it was. I mean, even like they made it a no holds barred match. I mean, we knew the improbable has happened with Roman Reigns winning the match, but the one thing that was an emotional moment was the Undertaker sitting up, and once they got to the highlights, and then when they got back from it, he had his stuff back on, the coat, the hat, and just as he took the gloves off, then the coat, and then the hat, and left it in the center of the ring, and he did his famous fist and basically went to the outside and kissed his wife, Michelle McCool, and then looked around as the crowd was standing up, and he had his fist up again and just descended to the ground, and then the lights went out and the gong went off. And what it is, folks, it's the end of an era that started back in November of 1990 at the Survivor Series, where The Undertaker made his debut at the Survivor Series, being part of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Team, where he was with Brother Love. And then the late, great Paul Bearer comes in to become the manager. A year later, he would go on to win his first WWE Championship. And it would be an awesome career that he's had. I mean, he did have that brief time as the American Badass, but let's be quite honest, guys. He was more famous for being the Dead Man, the Phenom. And with with the lights going out, with the famous hat and trench coat, and he will always he'll be remembered for what was the streak, where he was undefeated from till about WrestleMania 30, when he had the streak conquered by Brock Lesnar. I mean, look at some of the names he's gone up against in his career. Guys like, I mean, a bunch of Hall of Famers like Edge, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Randy Orton, Diesel, Kane. I mean, the list was so long, and to tell you guys, of course, Florio, you know me for a long time. You know how much of a big mark I am of The Undertaker. I've been the biggest fan of him since I first started watching wrestling back in the early 90s. And you knew how much I was into the dead man.
Absolutely.
I mean, you saw all the magazines I had collected. I mean,
yeah, and all your merchandise and all that.
And all the merchandise, and I still have some of them. I even have all the DVDs of The Undertaker.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, because of all that stuff, I keep joking around saying you should have yourself an Undertaker man cave one day.
And who knows, maybe I could in a way of paying tribute to the dead man. So all I can say is, Undertaker, as your biggest fan, I just want to say thank you for the memories. Thank you for an almost 27-year career. Thank you for being The Undertaker. And as Daniel Bryan would say, we are all grateful for you entertaining us for these 27 years. I love you, man. You may be gone, but to all of us here, you will never, ever be forgotten. Thank you, Undertaker. Thank you for the memories. You will never be forgotten. And I'm going to go on a limb and say this right now. Next year's Hall of Fame, he should be in there as a first ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. I love you, dead man. Thank you so much for being an inspiration, not just to me, but to every wrestling fan out there. Especially to guys like Michael Fletcher, like Anthony Florio, and the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, and of course, the Grand Poobah himself, Derek Ferreira. We love and respect you. So, once again, thank you, Undertaker. I will always remember you for being the great competitor that you are. And you'll always be a phenom in my eyes. D.D. Woodson, I gotta ask you how you follow that.
There's not much that I can to follow that. I am going to rate it just a tad bit higher. I'm going to give it to 2.5 to 3 stars for the match. And yeah, I send all respects to Taker. It's been a great run. Too many matches that I've seen of his to reflect on. But I will say one of my favorites, though, had to be Taker versus Jeff Hardy, where Jeff actually earned his respect in the end and kept saying, you haven't got me out yet, even though he couldn't stand. So no matter what, there's never going to be another person like Taker to go through everything that he went through and to follow that streak and everything. So Taker, all due respects to you, man, and from all of us here, we wish you the best in your future endeavors, and hope to see you on the Hall of Fame next year. So, as you can see, Bullock's got the necklace, Taker symbol. So, not much more I have to say. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Oh man, I don't know how you can follow that, but I'm gonna try. I'm leaning more towards Dee Dee's rating, 2.5 to 3 stars. Oh man, forget the failed tombstone reversal. This was still a good match. The match told a story with Taker putting up a strong fight, but the younger fighter ultimately put the older fighter down. I was hoping the post-match angle would feature a Reigns heel turn, but nothing about the way WWE continues to insist that fans like him and just don't know they like him suggests that that's coming. I'm still holding out a sliver of hope that Paul Heyman turns on Brock Lesnar in favor of helping Roman Reigns, but seeing is believing at this point. Look for next year's main event to be all about the two men who defeated Taker at WrestleMania. The big question following the end of the match is whether Taker will also appear on that show. It certainly looked like a retirement. If this is how he chose to go out, good for him. Personally, I think it would be crazy to not have a heavily hyped last ride match for Taker, which would sell WrestleMania on its own. If this is it, and it certainly looks like it was a hell of a ride, even if we didn't get an advertised last ride. I mean, he shared a post-match kiss with his wife, Michelle McCool, which was a nice touch. And, of course, Jim Ross got to work the match. Another nice touch, just like they had with Lawler working the mixed tag earlier in the night. And, Dee Dee Woodson brought up a great memory, of course, with The Undertaker in that ladder match for the undisputed title against Jeff Hardy. That Monday Night Raw, July 1st, 2002, Manchester, New Hampshire. I remember it like it was yesterday. That was back when MF and I were doing the Raw thing, during the original brand extension. We were both Raw guys. We were JR and the King, and we had hella fun calling that bout and covering that bout, no doubt about it. But if you want to know my favorite Taker match or memory, well, it's a toss-up. It's between two. WrestleMania 25 against Shawn Michaels and the end of an era, Hell in a Cell match against Triple H at 28. Those were my two all-time favorite Taker matches. And if I had to round out my top three, it would have to be the match with Bret Hart at SummerSlam in 97. Those were, to me, my three all-time greatest Undertaker matches. I rated all three of those 5-star classics. And Mark Calloway, if that's how you're going out, brother, like Michael Bullock said, thank you for the memories, thank you for the inspiration, and thank you for the Undertaker. 2018 Hall of Fame, there's your headliner right there. All yours, MF.
Let's close it the only way we know how. Overall review, I'm going to give it to Dee Dee Woodson. I know you would be first on the list anyway, my dear. So you give me your thoughts. What did you think of WrestleMania 33?
I was, even with a couple of low matches in there, I was really impressed with it, and I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, there's a lot of good points there, a lot of in the middle type matches, but I don't think you can top the way they ended it, though, with the whole arena giving Taker the respect that he deserves after that match. I mean, it's humbling. But it's worthy of a man like him to to quietly just step back and pass that torch off and then move on to the next venture of his life. And so once again, congratulations to all the winners. Taker, we'll miss you. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. So that's all I have to say. So good night, guys.
All right, good night, Didi Woodson, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw. No question about it.
No question about it.
And all right, so I'll take it for a spin next as far as the rating goes. I'm gonna go a little lower than Didi Woodson. I think 8.5 is a little too high if I'm being real honest. I'm gonna give it about 7.5 out of 10. I think that's more respectable. I thought it was a good addition to WrestleMania, and it exceeded my expectations. It was a nice change of pace from previous years, as it was more wrestling focused, and all the big moments occurred in the ring. The first 2 hours of the main show were outstanding and was sending the show into show of the year and all-time great WrestleMania territory. Unfortunately, the majority of the marquee matches did not live up to expectations, and especially the Wyatt and Orton match. That was brutal and killed the crowd until Brock and Goldberg picked things back up again. The show was missing one classic to really take it to the next level, but there are more than enough quality bouts that make this show worth watching despite the length and some clear flaws. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, marked the longest WrestleMania event ever, over 5 hours long. So I mean, for those of you who stayed awake, God bless you. I was one of them. God bless me, and God bless everybody who actually somehow were able to stay awake throughout all of this. So, quick list of recommendations: AJ Styles, Shane McMahon, the Raw Triple Threat ladder match for the tag team titles, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, Jericho and Owens. I could give you that, and of course, from the pre-show, the Cruiserweight match. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. I'll give you that. And I think that's pretty much all I have for recommendations. And I would only recommend the mixed tag for the proposal. But the only criticism I have, like I said, no pyro after that. They should have had pyro. That's all I'm saying. So that's really all I can say on that. So 7.5 out of 10. That's my overall thought on WrestleMania 33. So Michael Bullock, Didi Woodson gave it 8.5. I gave it 7.5. What says you, man?
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 7.5 out of 10. I mean, yeah, you pretty much touched on everything. So, and there's one more thing I want to mention. I really hope they do something on Raw tomorrow night to pay tribute to The Undertaker. Hopefully he comes out for a little something just to say thank you to the fans. So I really hope they do that.
I think they will. There's no doubt about it.
They better. If they don't, I'm going to be really upset.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll honor Taker right. I mean, for everything he's done in his career, there's no doubt in my mind. I think they'll do it. Just one word of note. Derek Ferreira, our Imperial Grand Poobah, gave WrestleMania a 6 out of 10. I cannot give a full rating because I have not seen the full show. I'm definitely going to watch it tomorrow. I can't do it tonight. I'll definitely do it tomorrow. With that said, that's it. We're done for tonight. Later this evening is Ridiculously Raw on Anthony's channel on the Tone 25. It is the Raw after WrestleMania. All hell is going to break loose. For that, you're going to have to stick around at 11 p.m. Eastern. Immediately after Raw goes off the air, we will be on the air, and we're going to have that. We're going to have 205 Live. We're going to have TNA Wrestling. But the main focus will be the surprises, the wild twists and turns of the Raw after WrestleMania. So for this, and for everything that you guys have been to all of us on this road, thank you. We love you. We appreciate all the support and the love. And as always, like this video. Comment on the bottom. What did you think about WrestleMania? Share it with everybody on all platforms of social media. And for that, for Anthony Florio, for Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Good night. Godspeed. So long for now. And we'll see you tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw. This has been a very special edition of the Wrestling Forum, the recap of WrestleMania, the Ultimate Thrill Ride, exclusively on YouTube.com.